Hello everyone. Now today I am starting with People Management Week 3 slides. So let's have a look about the topics. So first of all, you all have to get into your specialism groups for people management. Then learning aims for this session are we will be covering the basic functions of HR in this week, namely recruitment and selection, training and developing, performance management, and reward and pay. So you should leave the class with an understanding of what, how, and why each areas exist. You will then be applying this understanding to a case study. So we have these four functions: recruitment and talent management, staff training and development, performance management and pay, diversity and equality and diversity. So your group has until to develop presentation on the chosen specialist area. You should have each done a short review for this purpose, which you can bring together into the final presentation. So get into your groups for week 1. Please now take it a turn to explain to your colleagues the basic principles of HR area that you have studied as your specialism. 5 minutes outline of each area. Where there are more than one person per specialism, then good, you should have more material to discuss with your peers. So philosophy of people management. In each of the areas you have discussed, there is an underlying perspective, namely that people should be empowered to make the changes to their working environments that best suits their productivity. So an aspect of this is the perspective that ownership of task management leads to people being able to manage their workloads themselves and therefore have greater job satisfaction. With this in mind, how could you have organized yourself to better realize the task? So, philosophy of people management still continues. This module has been constructed using the same principle. Learners are to own the accumulation of knowledge with the tutor as a facilitator rather than a teacher. Results of this process published in Rowley Foucault, adopting a student-led pedagogy approach within higher education. So now we have this activity. What do you mean by performance? And here are the answers given by students. So now performance. The aim of this performance is to ensure that once assembled, the workforce is absent as little as possible and is well motivated and willing to perform to the best of its ability. So performance can be measured by finances, people, customers, and innovations, learning and development, links to management style as to how performance is measured. So under performance, are employees told what is expected from them? Are they given relevant training, advice, and learning material to guide them? Do they understand the repercussions of underperforming? So here we see about recruitment and talent management. So finding and hiring the most appropriate talent for the activities undertaken by organization in a timely manner and cost-effective manner. Talent management is the process of managing the abilities and competencies of the staff within the organization, and the right role and the wrong role lead to different strategies. So we can see in the diagram also, in the chart also, there are certain criteria like in right role, in wrong role, underperforming, effective, and um, outstanding. So now let's move to the next slide, training, development, and education. So are they always necessary? How does they differ from education? So now you have to find out at least two differences between them, and the time for this activity is 15 minutes. So here are the differences between training, development, and education. So you can see there are the basis of differences of meaning, aim, orientation, scope, and beneficial. Now we have this BBC article in which men working for a BBC earn an average of 9.3% more than women. A report into a corporation's staff pay has found. So the figures cover all staff on and off air and has been put down to the fact there are more men in senior jobs. So it compares with the UK average of 18%, and BBC Director General Tony Hall said it showed the BBC was in a better place than many organizations. So the problem is the BBC is coming under intense pressure from staff, the public, and media about their approach to pay. It has been identified in several pay reviews in 2017 that female staff are earning significantly less than their male counterparts. And here is the link given below at the bottom where you can read this article. Now, your specialist group has 30 minutes to fix the BBC gender pay gap. So, in a group, each member will be assigned a specialist role, right? Like recruitment and talent management, staff training and development, performance management and pay, equality and diversity. Now, prepare a 5-point plan from a perspective of your specialist group to address the issue. Remember that while this is about pay. The issue is about gender equality, and each area of people management has something to contribute in this regard. So now the tips are worth looking at other large UK institutions and organizations. What does the government advice recommend? Don't have in everyone focus all on one issue at a time. Chair should project manage the work to cover all aspects. No PowerPoint required, just solid ideas, well communicated and defendable. Be prepared to ask questions and take notes. So try and think of the solutions that are innovative. And here are some acceptable sources for this module. So you can see and you can follow these sources. Okay, so now we will start with next week, and that is week 4. So let's start with week 4. So here are week 4 slides, and it's about people management module. So in this, we will be covering about strategic human resource management. So you all have watched the video which was given in the pre-class activities section before coming to this class. Now tell me what is strategic human resource management and state at least 3 strategies which are used by a company to grow. So what is the team important? Why is the team important? So team building activities. So there is one team building activity for you all over here. And why this team building is important? Because with this, you can easily achieve the goals. You get motivation, coaching, collaboration, cooperation. You can communicate, you get training, leadership, and then you finally achieve the goals. So the team building activities, all the students have to sit in semicircle in the class. Now the teacher will start one story in the class, and after some time he will ask one student to continue the same story by assuming the situation. Then another student will be asked to add some more points to the same story on assumption basis. Like this way, story will be continued and will be ended by the last member. This shows the importance of team building. So after this activity, students will highlight at least 3 benefits of team building. Now, modern team working is decentralized. So use of technology has facilitated further decentralization of the organization. The team is important because it reflects the smallest unit of organizational structure within a broader company people management strategy. So we will now turn to how strategy has developed in human resource management. So there are certain models. So first is generic management model by Bilbin Teams Role, Tuckman Forming, Storming, Norming, Black and Monton. So study says that having too many smart people in a group lowers productivity. So I seeded this project team with an idiot to boost performance. My strategy of not paying attention in school is finally paying off. So Belvin's team role. So in this, you can see certain bases are coordinator, shaper, plant, implementer, specialist, resource investigator, monitor evaluator, team worker, completer, and finisher. And we have Tuckman's theory, in which we have certain stages. So stages for team development are forming, storming, norming, and performing. So as you all know that these stages are performed for the team development. Now we have Black and Monte's managerial grid, and this grid is basically based on concern for people and concern for tasks, and they are low, high, low, high. So now we have very interesting thing, that leadership by dolphin approach. So you have to watch the video which is given below, and you have to state at least 4 qualities of a dolphin which are essential for a leader of the company. So this is going to be very interesting activity. As you can see, dolphins also have those qualities. Now, next topic is strategy. So strategy is the direction and scope of an organization over the long term, ideally which matches its resources to its changing environment, and in particular, it markets customers or clients so as to meet stakeholder expectations. So what are the strategic concerns of HR? Matching its human resources to its changing environment. Next, we have competitive advantage. So the people in an organization may be seen as a source of competitive advantage, just like any other factor of production within an organization. So to offer sustainable advantages over the long term, the following should be present in the people you employ. So add value, be unique, be difficult to imitate, and non-substitutable. Some strategic decisions, delivering the right employees, so core or periphery staff, internal or external labor market focus, specialist, de-skilled or multi-skilled recruitment processes. So for example, outsource payroll function, outsource cleaning and estates management, use recruitment agency. So some HR decisions, generating the right behavior, differential policies for managing performance, learning and development activities, pay and reward system, for example, two-tier development strategy, reward talent, appraisals linked to customer clients review. And now we have strategic coherence. So once again, the HR function should align its strategies to the organization to achieve competitive advantage. So we have external fits and internal fits. So external fits, direction of strategic change is consistent with external pressure. Strategic directions is clearly related to competitive advantage or excellent performance. And in internal fit, it's consistency between intended strategy, stated objectives, the expression, and the behavior of executives. Strategy is feasible in terms of resources, structure, culture, and routine. And now we can see the examples of TGI Friday and Betty's. So are the human resource needed for these two companies the same? What are different strategic concerns of HR in these two companies? How do they match their human resource to the changing environment? So these are the two different companies, and these are the questions which you have to think about. So the external fit is what kind of experience is the customer having? How do TGI staff create value for the customers? By party atmosphere, individualized uniforms, willing to stand on table and sing. And internal fit, how do they generate and sustain a party culture? Is it consistent and with other policies, recruitment approach, training needs, pay and rewards, and appraisal criteria? Now you can see for Betty, so external fit, what kind of experience is a customer seeking? How do Betty staff create value for the customers? Upper class atmosphere, very precise, formal uniform, silver service, old fashioned quality. And internal fit, how do they generate and sustain a service culture? Is it consistent with other policies, recruitment approach, training needs, pay and rewards, and appraisal criteria? So now we can see the difference between traditional personnel and contemporary. So traditional one is recruitment and retention, training and development, legal compliance and diversity. employee relation and trade union, performance management, appraisals and reward. And contemporary, on the other hand, is creating value for the customer through HR, delivering the right employees and the right employee behavior, enabling a flexible and adaptable organization, and efficiency and value for money in delivering HR processes. Now we have Porter's generic strategic choices, in which we have uh, certain chart. So in this chart, we can see certain columns and which are competitive scope and competitive advantage. In that, we have cost leadership, differentiation, differentiation focus, and cost focus. Now we Porter's generic strategic choice. So find your source of competitive advantage. Cost, quality, and innovation. Difficult to be strong on all three, and all other strategies must support this choice. Intangible, special quality of how things are undertaken, style and approach of people, creativity, responsiveness to customer, client, and audience. Now we have one post-class activity also, cost leadership. So application of Porter, select a company that take a cost leadership approach. How does this affect and shape their approach to human resource management? What does it look like in practice? So differentiation, select a company that takes a differentiation approach. How does this shape and affect their approach to HR, and what does it look like in practice? So here, this is the post-class activity which you will be doing after the class. And here are the references. So here we finish our week 4 slides as well. And I hope you have understood what we have discussed today. And thank you for listening.